good because everything's a little tighter now, but my camera's off. Okay, let's do it. This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 351, recorded February 19th, 2014. I'm your host, Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Melvar, Paladin, Don, Diecast, and Bob Saget.
Yo.
So, I'm assuming that not everyone heard last week's show. JD was awesome. JD is the reason that we do Radio Free Cybertron. He contacted me after years of not speaking with him in 2009. Was like, hey, you need to bring Radio Free Cybertron back because I want to be a podcaster. And I said, no. He was like, hey, no, seriously. So I said, well, okay, let me create a Facebook page, and if I can get 50 fans, I'll do it. And like 4 hours later, I had 50 fans, and I'm like, okay, and the rest is history. So
what JD never told you was that he was the 50th fan.
Yeah, I know.
At that time.
Yeah, he probably was. But JD is missed tremendously, and you know, it will never be the same. Radio Free Cybertron, Superhero Time, and even Fanboy Versus, if it ever comes back in another form, will never be the same. We miss him terribly. So, also this past week was Toy Fair. Actually, I guess it was this week. Toy Fair 2014. Diecast was there, and
it was so awesome. It spanned 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then Bob Saget was there as well. Last week's show, because JD's passing, we didn't actually record a show last week, so I deviated a little bit, and I posted the live stream as the show. Instead of being 6 hours long like normal, we condensed it down to about 3, so I thought that was pretty reasonable. But yeah, so guys, just general high-level thoughts. Well, what did you think about the show? Did you have fun, or was it just tedious and boring? Did you see anything that like really jumped out at you?
Skyfire.
Jetfire.
Diecast, you want to go first?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jetfire was we knew about Jetfire going in. It leaked 2 or 3 days early. I think it would have. I'm glad it leaked. Before I got to the show, I wasn't glad it leaked because I was like, well, that would have been great to see at the show. But I think if I would have seen that at the show and not have realized that was coming out, my head would have exploded all over the people doing the presentation for Hasbro. So I guess it's kind of good that I knew ahead of time.
I had some doubts that it was legit though because of a couple things like that Valkyrie head, which we found out is like a clip-on accessory.
Yes. And
a couple other things. It wasn't 100% for sure. It was it was probable, but I wasn't completely sold on it until your picture showed up, pretty much.
How bad is the chrome on Jetfire in person? Because right now that seems to be a deal breaker for some people.
No, it looks good. I don't know why people would have a problem with it.
I think they're worried it'll be prone to flaking in the future.
Yeah, 10 years later, what's it going to look like?
Yeah. I think 10 years later, I think it's going to still look.
10 years later, we might have a new one.
Yeah.
That's true, actually.
I don't think it's going to be an issue with this.
How long has it been since the first Classics Jetfire?
Well, I mean, it looks solid.
7 years, 7, 8, yeah.
It's getting close to 10 anyway.
Yeah. So what about you, Bob? What was big for you?
Let's see, the two things that I thoroughly enjoyed that made Hasbro event for me. One was the idea we're getting the MP Grimlock, because that was on display prominently, and I hadn't heard anything about it except through the rumor mills that was an idea.
While we were in the presentation, I actually was sitting next to Bob, and I leaned over and said, it's about time they reissued that Grimlock. And then we went downstairs, and it was there, with new packaging and everything. And he looked at me and was like, you just said that. It was almost as if I snuck in.
Quick, say we should win the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, Diecast just has this ability. But the best moment for me actually was in the presentation. I don't know who this gentleman was or what he did, but he made the presentation for me. They were showing the Legends figures, Gears. And it got real quiet, and this guy had a geargasm. In the middle of it. It was just the most... Inappropriate but awesome sound all at one time.
I love Gears. I would have had a Geargasm, I think, if I had been there.
Yeah, it was quiet. They're talking, and then they announce Gears, and all you hear is, "Oh!"
So remember, I think I tweeted you to get a closer picture because I assumed that it had the swerve head, and it really pissed me off. But it's knowing that it actually has like a Gears head makes me happier. I don't think it looks as nice as Cogs. I don't think it is. Swerve is awesome. The Swerve is coming out, but Gears isn't quite as perfect as Cogs is, but it's not bad. Not bad.
I would say the Roadbuster was kind of a shock.
Oh
too.
yeah, the Roadbuster came out of nowhere.
I'm definitely impressed with the Roadbuster.
Yeah,
that's great. We'll talk more about that in a second. So on the show this week, because I don't want to spoil it, because we have so much to talk about. On the show this week, we have the rundown from Toy Fair 2014. Diecast was able to get some awesome interviews with Activision and one with Hasbro at Toy Fair 2014. We'll have that in the show. We'll have This Week in History, normal news. XV and Rob have comic reviews for this past week. And actually, one thing that I was surprised that Diecast got was the entire Hasbro presentation. Even though you know the news that's in it, what you don't get is the delivery. And I've listened to it twice. I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to include that in the show. It's definitely worth listening to, even if you know what the news coming from it is, because they are totally excited about the brand, and they give some context as to why we're getting some of the simplified transformations, and I definitely think that I think that there's merit to having the flip transformations and the different price points isn't the right way of putting it. Different play patterns isn't exactly the right way of putting it. Different levels of complexity. I think that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and jump to This Week in History. So This Week in History in 1999, the Beast Wars episode Go With The Flow premieres in the U.S.
Which one?
Depth Charge is the comedy one where Depth Charge goes to retrieve Sentinel from the downed Maximal ship.
High comedy then.
Yeah, and yeah, that's actually Go With The Flow. That was Go With The Flow, yeah. And 2003, the Robots in Disguise episode. Actually, no, 2003, the Robots in Disguise Destructicons, which was Scourge and Bludgeon, which were based on Hero Optimus Prime and Hero Megatron from G2. Those were released in Japan as Toys R Us exclusive USA editions. Did you guys get the... those were released... Were those KB exclusives in the US, Don?
Yeah.
I think they were. I remember that.
Yeah. The Bludgeon, the Megabolt Megatron, and then the Nemesis Prime were all KB exclusives.
Yeah, I kind of liked that. I kind of like that. I didn't think that was a bad reuse of that. Obviously, it makes sense for Scourge, but Bludgeon out of Megatron, that was the first Bludgeon. That was the second Bludgeon we ever got. So that was, and he's a tank.
Yeah. He was the hero. He was the hero. He's the hero Megatron recolor, and he was a Destructicon.
Yes. I mean, it had the same Megatron head. It did. Yeah, it did. So I mean, it was obviously just a retool. It was obviously just a repaint of Megatron, but I thought it was. I thought it wasn't bad. Especially, you got to keep in mind that came out when 2002 here. 2002.
It was right at the tail end.
Oh, I think it was after the tail end of RID. Yeah. I think it was after RID had already ended. I think it was.
That few week gap between RID and Armada.
I think it was actually out after Armada started.
Maybe in some areas.
If I'm not mistaken, but you got to keep in mind it was a different time back then, so we didn't get a lot of, fan service, really, when it comes to these characters. That was sort of the beginning.
Back then, all you had was, say, Lee's Action Figure News and Toy Review, and you just saw what was coming up, and you just kept an eye out for it in the stores.
Yeah, pretty much. And in 04, 10 years ago this week, the Energon episode, Megatron's Sword, premiered in the U.S. Which episode was that? I don't know, because it was Energon.
And nothing of value was anywhere to be seen.
Yeah, when I was going through this, I'm like, oh, what happened 10 years ago this week? Oh, an episode of Energon. Okay.
Portion of a show.
I stuck almost all the way through Armada. I just stopped at the end. I've watched so few episodes of Energon. I should give Cybertron a better shake. But oh god, it's so hard. It's so hard.
Think of Energon transformed over to Cybertron for me. I can't watch Cybertron. I don't care what anyone says about it. Oh
yeah.
Cybertron is the most watchable of the three.
Yeah, it is. From everything, from all accounts.
Saying a whole lot.
I know that's.
I'm sorry. Once you get post kicker, there is nothing to watch. Nothing.
What's sad is the kids in Energon were some of the best humans we had up until the Prime team.
That's not saying a lot. That's not saying much.
Might look back a little bit more kindly on Armada if they had actually finished the damn thing before they aired.
You ever meet Fanzone? I mean, he was awesome. So
I will agree with Pal that the final the entire Unicron ending of Armada saved that series. That series ended on a good note.
It ended. That's the good note.
Energon was cool.
So let's go ahead and jump to the news. Okay, so this week, Toy Fair 2014.
Yay.
And lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff. We already talked about Generations Jetfire, and so Roadbuster, I think, was probably the biggest surprise.
Well, I'd say second biggest, because remember, we also had Sky-Byte.
Yeah.
I knew Sky-Byte was coming.
We already saw. I think we actually saw both listed in Walmart system. I know Sky-Byte was definitely there, but again, a lot of that's conjecture. It could be an old SKU or something. We know for
and Roadbuster coming out was kind of a safe bet after Whirl, but still, it was nice.
Well,
to see
Whirl sort of telegraphed it, but Whirl, how many times have we gotten a character that is closely associated with another character, but we don't get that other character at some point? It happens.
Every time.
Yeah, it happens. So I was surprised.
Grimlock and the other Dinobots.
Yeah, I was surprised.
They showed a nice picture. We gotten those really bad renders or photographs or whatever of the upcoming waves with Nightbeat's picture on it.
Oh yeah, Nightbeat's a completely different mold.
And it's actually he's based off of
Goldfire.
Bumblebee, isn't it?
He's based off Goldfire, but the photo we saw before was based off Jazz, wasn't it?
Yes. And it works so much
somebody
better.
screwed up there.
It works so much better as a Bumblebee mold, and the face and the sculpt's a lot better.
I like that Jazz mold way better. I don't care how much better it fits.
I'm tired of that Jazz mold.
I was tired of that Goldfire, toy with the first release of it.
Well, they gave you a good reason. That yellow is still god awful.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
Yellow with a green underneath yellow.
But yeah.
Oh, just make him yellow. He's Bumblebee. He'll sell.
But yeah, so that was the Nightbeat release was. The fact it was a completely different mold, that was a surprise. What else was the big thing for you guys? We actually saw the Age of Extinction Dinobots and those figures, or at least some of those figures, the week.
That is a surprise.
I like Grimlock.
Actually, not bad toys from the looks of it. I
The
just
deluxe-
kind of wonder what the
don't-
hell was up with the color schemes on a lot
They
of
look
them.
good. The Generations Bayformers actually look good this time around.
They look a lot more like Beast Hunter stuff than movie stuff.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, and we were also the first to get confirmation, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the gray truck is Galvatron in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that was
we were.
Toy Fair. So that was interesting.
Plus, we saw the G1 Optimus truck mode.
The half
movie
G1.
Optimus.
Evasion mode, they called it.
That was it, evasion mode. I couldn't think
It
of it.
also appears to have Dark of the Moon
Yeah.
Megatron shotgun for some reason.
But you know what we didn't
Hey,
see?
if you're gonna kill kill a guy, steal his weapon.
What
Yeah,
didn't we
I
see,
know.
Malvar?
Saying.
Yeah. I know what we didn't see.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm surprised because she's apparently so close.
Well, that Big Bad Toy Store, I think, got the date wrong on that.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
sure
still
they
wrong
did.
because apparently they don't go in and correct
Yeah.
stuff until the end of the month. So that'll
Well,
say March
yeah.
till at least
Well,
the end of February.
Either way, I got my pre-order in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But here's the thing for me.
I tried to confirm that if she would come as a headmaster. They wouldn't say nothing.
Well,
But they didn't say no, did they?
well,
I tried.
They
I
did
know.
say IDW based though.
Well, they
did.
said I saw somewhere it was mentioned that they were acutely aware of the demand for the character in G1 format, and I'm thinking
In G1, she was not a headmaster for 99% of G1.
right,
That's true.
right. But here's the thing. I've been making them acutely aware of that
You
for
have been.
years. How much more aware do they need to be before the figure gets made?
You know, Kide is gone. Do you think he would have had time to work on any of that stuff? Because it's thanks to Kide we got awesome things like Springer or Big Daddy or those toys. I think he's probably gone by that point. But yeah, one of the big surprises was that the deluxe figures or the so basically the Age of Extinction toys are going to be broken into those different levels of complexity, and the deluxes, the ones that we know and love that are not terribly complex but deluxe size and what little intermediate complexity, those are actually going to fall within Generations. So we're getting 74 total Generations figures this year.
Yeah.
Compared to 53 last year, but again, that includes movie figures. So
Which is still good marketing, really. It
I
keeps
think so.
Generations going during the movie.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what they
And-
did mention that.
But that number is so subjective because if they're going to include Asian releases again and then multiples of the same character, like
Well, the
Yeah,
Asian,
they're going
the
to.
Asian releases though aren't. Is it Generations or Collector's Focus? What did they say specifically?
The Generations line is going to be for the adult collector. That was their statement
Right.
on with the Generations line. That some of it will be with the movie figures, but a lot of the focus is on sort of that G1 IDW aesthetic.
Here's my concern with the way they're doing it, and this is looking at it from all angles. We all know that the buyers, Walmart, Target, those types of stores, control what we get. And by Hasbro separating them like this, it's great because kids are going to have easy transformation figures now. But are we running the risk of Walmart and Target and all these other stores being, we don't want to carry these adult collector figures. We're just going to carry these figures for the kids. That's who we want,
It's a good point, but the fact that Target and Walmart have to know by now that those Generation figures fly off the shelves
Maybe.
while the Prime figures sit.
So my question is this: so they announced that at the fan event. What were they saying during the week when they were talking to Walmart and Target and those companies? Were they saying, "Oh, this is the collector line," or are they just saying, "Oh, well, this is the assortment. These are what we're going to have"?
They didn't necessarily say this is the collector line. I mean, they did focus on that, but they were also saying this is also for maybe your, teenage. Once you get out of that preteen and you're getting into the teenage years, this is also for them. So they also fit into this Generations category, which is why they're one of the reasons they're going to have movie figures as well. But it's also for the collectors who want to still buy movie figures.
So just going back to the whole thing about being old, which I talk about all the time. So as a teenager, like when I hit 13, I quit buying toys, and I was out of toys for years. I didn't buy a single toy for years. For like three whole years, I didn't buy a single toy. And then I was like at 16. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna buy toys again. So do teenage boys like buy toys at this point? Do 13-year-old, 14-year-old kids, for the most part, do they buy action figures?
I did.
I mean, but we don't count.
I would say
No, that's
1
right,
out of
that's
10. 1
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Actually, I think it's a little bit more now because the geek culture is
it's more pervasive than it
more
was.
pervasive, and the Transformer line. The Transformers are a lot more accepted in the mainstream than they were back in our time. So
that's
It's
true.
strange when you think about it.
yeah, Michael Bay did do something.
Yeah, at work I see occasionally, Transformers like at people's desks. It's a specific character, because he might happen to be licensed to, he might be a license for my company, but you'll see that, and people don't look down at, for me and others for doing that. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see here. Gosh, what else? What were some of the other bits? Because we saw so many things. I really liked the what do they call the Hero Mashers?
Yeah.
I like
I was
those.
surprised they did that in Transformers. That was really interesting.
I love that. It's so neat.
See, I hear Hero Mashers, I think of the Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, me too.
Which is kind of what they are, but just an entire body instead of just a head.
Yeah,
Interchangeable.
I love this concept. I don't get it. I don't know why they did it, but I love it.
They look good. I don't really have an issue with them, even as a concept. It is kind of out there. But, at the same point in time, I'm glad to see Hasbro doing something different and not just staying within their little safe zone. I don't know.
They must have lost the Swoop name. Did they lose the Swoop name, or did they just want to keep it...
I think Michael Bay probably didn't like the Swoop name, and they want to still kind of tie into the movie.
It's entirely possible. They lost Bumblebee at one point. So.
Because they have a masher of a, pterodactyl with one head, and it's supposed to be the movie records, and it's called Strafe, and then the Strafe movie character has 2 heads.
That's
When
right,
was the last
that's
time
right.
they used Swoop? It was animated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
03, 04.
Oh,
No. Swoop.
Wait, does the
no,
video game?
I'm thinking.
does the
I'm
video
thinking.
game count?
I'm thinking of the robots in the sky, Swoop and Grimlock 2-pack. Never mind.
You still swoop everything else.
Or Energon.
They may just be tying it into the movie, however thinly they can.
You would think they would, since 07, they would still have Swoop.
Yeah. Well, they used it for the Fall of Cybertron video game, so
Yep.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily disprove anything.
Yeah,
though, since there's no merchandise for him.
It's not a toy.
That's true. They could have lost the trademark for toy line at least.
Or it might be something that would be hard to defend.
Dinobot swoop.
Yeah.
Or
Slug.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. I guess they call Slug Dinobots.
But I don't see how Swoop would be any harder to defend than Slash or Scorn. So.
This may end up being like a Bumblebee situation where they just bite the bullet and just keep the name, and it's like, well, we're not gonna be able to defend it or protect it anyway. So it's what people know them as.
I guess probably the next big. It was leaked like a day or two before, but I would say the next big surprise at Toy Fair, might be the biggest surprise, arguably, was Rise of the Dark Spark video game, which mashes. It's a mashup between the movieverse and the War for Cybertron universe, and it's getting mixed. It's getting mixed opinions.
Yeah,
Well, it does come out like a day
about
before the actual movie, so I'm guessing it's pretty much just the movie tie-in game with a couple of recycled character models from Fall of Cybertron.
The mixed opinions is just that, is the fact that it blends into the movie universe, and it's like you have this really great Cybertron franchise video game that people love, and don't know if this is actually where it's all been leading to, or if this is just we're just combining the two because we're being cheap.
Well, since High Moon doesn't really exist anymore and we kind of have a new creative team, it's hard to tell if this is where they wanted it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to mash them together because, I mean, you have what everyone typically expects of, the movie video game, which usually isn't very good and doesn't sell very well, and you can get it a couple months later for, $20, or you have this, this Cybertron game that is done really well and it's been a great game and everyone really likes it, and now they're tying in the movie into that game in hopes that they're going to have one game that does really well and everyone likes.
That's true, but the problem is that it could end up biting them in the keister in the same respect. It's a double-edged sword situation.
So while War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron got a lot of fan buzz, did they sell that great?
They seem to, at least I thought so.
Yeah,
I did too,
so.
yeah.
In this Call of Duty world, where if you don't make $1 billion, you're nothing. I mean, they really sell that great.
I don't not compared to Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty, but I think it sold well for a Transformers game for a
and it's Activision. I mean, they have different standards.
They may look at it differently since it's a licensed property than if it's an Activision property.
They have to pay more. They have to pay money to license it. It's not like they're being paid to. It's not like Hasbro saying, "Here's money to make games for us."
Well, it was enough to greenlight a sequel anyway.
Yeah.
I think it sold well enough that Activision was at least pleased. I don't know if Fall of Cybertron sold more. I don't know.
And Grimlock looked huge in the game, which looks really fun. I mean, anytime you have a huge character, I mean, if you thought Grimlock was big in, Fall of Cybertron, he is, 3 times the size in the Dark Spark. So I'm looking forward to playing it.
Still wondering how big Grimlock is going to be as a robot.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish War for Cybertron and start Fall of Cybertron before. If I had picked them up on Steam when they were on sale, I might have actually gotten to them. Right now, I'm only playing my PC and not playing my Xbox. So, but I think that game was probably, I would say, probably the biggest surprise, probably from the general audience sort of perspective. God, so much stuff from Toy Fair. I'm trying to think anything else that was just so not Transformers related, and it wasn't actually shown at Toy Fair, but photos were leaked to the G.I. Joe Collectors Club. Not leaked, but given and all the G.I. Joe fan sites on the new G.I. Joe 50th anniversary line. For the 3 3/4-inch G.I. Joe figures. And I just want to mention, for those of you who didn't get your low light, you can get your low light. Don't spend $70 on it. Just spend $20, however much it's going to cost to actually get this. But it's
going to be a Toys R Us exclusive, so be prepared.
And it doesn't look like it's going to include all of the all of the accessories that the Pursuit of Cobra low light. I think it was Pursuit of Cobra low light figure had, but it still looks pretty nice. And I love G.I. Joe. Just saying. Anything else Transformers-wise from Toy Fair worth mentioning?
Well, since you're talking about G.I. Joe now, I mean, you got to mention that Terror Dome.
Oh yeah.
So Kre-O Terror Dome.
So we got additional waves of Kre-O from Transformers. We saw the next wave of blind pack figures, but we also saw that G.I. Joe Kre-O Kreon is continuing, and they're getting a flippin' Technodrome. That's awesome.
And it looks amazing in the pictures. I don't know how it looks up close, but it looks amazing.
Oh, didn't they have it there?
No, they had it.
I didn't see it. They did?
They had it, yeah.
Then I completely did not go to the Kre-O section.
I have photos of it, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Photos into there.
Yeah.
Plus, I believe it was confirmed today or yesterday that Kre-O is going to be continuing on, but as a Toys R Us exclusive line.
That means I can buy one, get one.
That does make more sense, really, because isn't that where most everyone found it to start?
G.I. Joe is. I
think we're all just have to deal with the fact that G.I. Joe is going to be a Toys R Us exclusive line from here on out.
I've always had luck at Target with Kre-O.
No, all of Kre-O.
I've had a lot of luck at Target, personally. That's for me. But yeah, so, that's good. I can buy one, get one for 40% off now pretty much every other week. So, it could be worse. Yeah, but the Terror Dome, that's pretty flippin' awesome. We're getting Serpentor Kre-O, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I believe Vance tweeted it was a Serpentor Kre-O with a free Terror Dome.
I did buy a Micromaster Hot Rodimus and got a free Star Convoy with it. It's only $400 mint and sealed box. I really did that. Let's see here. What else do we have in the show this week?
Well, I will say, actually, if there's any fans of the Loyal Subjects Transformers, they got a Wave 2 coming out that's going to include, I can remember this from memory, Prowl, the Coneheads, and the Dinobots. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like that the Dinobots will have swappable heads.
Yeah. So
that they will actually have their dinosaur mode and their robot mode that you can do.
And the Optimus Prime has a, if you get the Optimus Prime, it actually has a built-in voice chip. So it'll say three phases.
What was this?
The Loyal Subjects. The little guys.
These are the official third party things. Is that it? Yeah.
And they have more articulation too. They put an extra couple joints in them.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see here. So, and Bob, you don't know anything about any juicy details about the new ShardCon Army Club, do you? That you can share?
I don't know right now.
So they're
keeping that one kind of close to the vest.
So we're gonna have Ninja Dave and Eric on next week to talk about that. But so basically, between now, I think it's like 17 months till ShardCon 2015, and JD is the one that came up, I think, or he loved saying ShardCon so much. I miss JD.
Yes, indeed.
But the convention, to help out, sort of like almost like a crowdsourcing measure, they're going to have a club set up that you can join, and depending on the tier, you'll have different levels of perks when the convention actually starts. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'll definitely sign up for that. So again, great convention. Can't wait. We're going to be there, so
I'm going to do my best to go to ShardCon in 2015.
You totally need to do it. Go to SavCon this year, too. SavCon is going to be the convention I think most of us make it to. I know Rob and I want to make...
I don't think I can afford one this year, but 2015 is a much more likely possibility for me.
I know.
Besides, it'll take that long for all the snow to melt up there, right, Paladin?
That's if we're lucky.
I know Rob and I are definitely doing Jolanta, and most likely doing TFCon in addition to SavCon. But yeah, definitely. ShardCon was awesome. Looking forward to it. And we'll have Ninja Dave and Eric on next week to talk more about it. So I missed this part. So is there going to be an RPG game coming from Activision?
The 3DS version of Rise of the Darkspark is a tactical RPG.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I have no idea why.
Well, because I think typically their games were not very good. When they brought out like the Fall of Cybertron for the 3DS, it's a completely different system, so you can't just port the game over. So, why not do a different game rather than everyone knows that the game's going to be crap if it's the same game, or the same title, just for the 3DS.
I still think that's going to alienate a few buyers, at least.
They only had a few buyers to begin with, so at least if they say it's an RPG, people will be like, oh, well, that's different, I'll try it.
Yeah. I wish I liked tactical games. I'm not a strategy game player. No, doesn't work for me. So, let's see here. Jumping to the third-party roundup. Nothing. Why would you want to talk third-party on the week of Toy Fair?
Wait, there was third-party there. There was.
Oh, yeah, like the total knockoff Kre-O. I mean, so those are so third party though that they don't infringe on any sort of copyright or anything.
We talking about
How
the
can they
we
not?
talking about the brick.
Right.
We talk about the brick fake Kre-Os
Brick
with the
tech.
bundle
Yeah.
with the Bumblebee head. Yeah.
I like that one. Looks sort of like Sentinel Prime, sort of.
Diecast was livid. They had to pull him out of the Toy Fair floor. He was so angry.
The Prime looked like he had just got his head out of Bumblebee's butt. I mean, it was a red Prime
And
with a yellow head.
That's awesome. So that does it for the news this week. Okay, let's go ahead and jump to Diecast's interview with Activision. After that, we'll jump to comic news and reviews with XV and Rob. After that, we'll go to the interview with Hasbro, and we'll round out things with the panel or the event from Toy Fair this past weekend, the Hasbro fan event. So we'll be back right after this. Okay, so before we end things, I want to reiterate that JD Church, the reason that I do this, pretty much, besides you, besides the listener and the fan, I do the show for you, but the reason we started this was JD. It was JD's idea, pretty much in its entirety. The first episode or two that we did when we came back in 2009, it was just me and JD, and I was sitting down yesterday listening to that, and got a little emotional. JD was awesome. He was one of my dearest friends. Like I said, I spoke with him every day, and before work every day, I would hear like on the drive in, I would hear a little ping or a little sound on my phone where JD was messaging me on Google Talk, telling me about something that really pissed him off or something that he thought was funny. And I really almost literally started my day every day talking with JD, and you know, the fact that I still check Google Talk just to see if he's there, or Skype, or I wait for a tweet, our lives are much less rich without JD in it. I mean, it's we only dealt with JD pretty much through the internet. We rarely got together in person, and things appreciate it. So, any thoughts about any great JD memories before we wrap up the show, guys? Paladin, I know that you and JD talked every week.
Yes, but most of what he mentioned on Superhero Time, you'd have to edit out here.
I love that. On the most recent episode of Superhero Time, XV posted a JD retrospective, I guess, or a JD a montage, and it's hilarious. He starts off, "It's time for poop." I forgot who I was talking with on Twitter. I'll need to get back. It was one of my Twitter friends. We were talking about the episode of Superhero Time where XV basically just lets JD and Fort Max go for like 10 minutes talking about the finer points of driving through Oklahoma. And it's ridiculous, but it's enthralling. It was just so fun to listen to. I remember listening to that years ago when it first posted, and I was listening again this past week, and it was just great. And the cool thing is, we've had so much outpouring, so much love from our fans, and I'm just gratified about how many fans that we have, and how they have reached out to give a hug or a kind word, or when possible, monetary support for this. You guys are great. We love you, and you are the reason that we do this each and every week. Without you, I mean, there'd be no point. I mean, I would sit here and talk to Don. Sure, he and I would hang out, but nobody would want to listen to it, just us. But you do. That's why we love you. Yeah, JD would have totally just given me hell for that.
He really would have.
Yeah. We miss you,
I'm
buddy.
sure he's giving it to you right now.
Yeah.
But he's doing it with a smile on his face.
With sour cream.
Sour cream.
Yeah, drinking a Route 44 Diet Dr. Pepper from Sonic. But, yeah, so, let's see here. I guess that pretty much does it for this week. Melvar Paladin, Don, Diecast, and Bob Saget. Guys, thank you for being on. And Bob, tell us about the Turtle Lair podcast real quick and Needless Essentials while we have you here.
Yeah, the Turtle Lair podcast. I host that with a small but very, very, very rambunctious group of turtle fans. We record on Sundays. We usually put it out around Thursdays, so you can usually find it uploaded by then. We'll have the toy fair turtle review, including my thoughts of the Bay Turtles. So as soon as I can figure out exactly how to phrase it to where it won't just be.
I could think of a few.
Yeah. Well, I could too, but then it just becomes this descent into cursing.
Well, 45 minutes of bleeps is not entertaining.
No, I know it isn't. Not because we don't do video. I mean, it may be funny if there's video of me doing it, but
I repeat, it doesn't matter what anything looks like. The movie will still be terrible. Just like
that's how I exactly feel about the Transformers toys from the Bayformers. Like, these toys look good. The movie's gonna be horrible, but we got other reviews on the website that I write for, Needless Essentials. We got actually exclusive pictures of the prototypes of the loyal subjects. They are doing Power Ranger, little mini
cool.
Power Rangers with removable helmets. And we got lucky enough to get exclusive pictures of the prototypes for those. No one else, I think, has them because they just weren't available until the last day. So go to that site, look them up if you like all that good stuff.
What was it? NeedlessEssentialsOnline.com? How do you get?
NeedlessEssentialsOnline.com.
And Turtle Lair can be found at tmntpodcast.com.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No, I thought it was still TF Radio.
It is. I mean, it's tfradio.net/Turtle Lair, but you can get to it at tmntpodcast.com. When at all possible, I get the whatever podcast, I have podcast names I'll never end up using.
See, I just record these things down the layer and I just send it out, and I'm like, I trust that the fans are there. I have a lot of faith.
Yes. Okay. Paladin, you're on Superhero Time each and every week.
I try to be. Sometimes I can even take control of it, and then everybody pays for it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that episode that you hosted recently.
Yes.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but I love each and every one of you guys. You, Ken, Fort Max, XV. You guys are all. Hey Mickey. I think Hey Mickey is awesome. You guys are all awesome. And the other guys, you can see them wherever. You can see Don at Toys R Us.
And the rest.
Yeah, Don is that guy at Toys R Us.
I am not that guy. I'm that other guy over there.
Okay.
Don, at some point, we need to get together and go to Toys R Us and just, tear out, the entire shelf of Transformers and be like one of those terrible customers that come, every other week and just, scalp.
I have actually, on several occasions when I had nothing else to do, I'd go to Toys R Us if anything came in, and I would just sit and rearrange the shelves for them, just because it needed. I just had nothing to do. I would rearrange the shelves and fix it and put everything to the front and face it out. And I said, "Fix y'all shelves for you."
Did you take stuff down from Top Stock?
There's gonna be.
Yeah,
There should be an Animal Planet episode. Just Dawn in the Wild. And here, Don lowers the prices.
No, that's there was a box of Generations up there. It was Optimus Prime wave, the first wave, but the tag was empty, so I pulled it down, filled it up, put it back up. I'm trying to help them get a nice presentation.
That's awesome, Don. And Diecast, thank you again for all your hard work at Toy Fair. Kim and I were talking about what a great job you did. So I
was also talking about what a great job you did, Diecast.
Who was?
I was.
Yeah.
Oh, and I got to hang out with M. Bob Saget, which was fun. We went to Toys R Us together, and
Yes.
Had
It
bison burgers.
Tore it apart. And
We watched people get lost on the subway. It was fun. It was fun. Good time.
I've
Wait,
never,
I was the one getting lost.
Dude, I know. That's what I said. I got to watch it.
I've
All
never,
right.
I've never spent an appreciable amount of time through New York. I've driven through a couple times, but I've never actually.
It's a dirty town.
Yeah.
It's a dirty, dirty town. But
Yeah.
it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
With apologies to all of our fans in New York.
I kid. I love New York City. They know I do.
And that Cake Boss restaurant was awesome. Or
Oh.
cafe, or...
Yeah, I can never go back to that Cake Boss. I gained like 20 pounds off of that one cake. Ridiculous.
That's awesome. And Melvar, thanks for being on this week as well. You're awesome. So, for the guys, I'm your host, Brian Kilby. We will be back next week. Have a good one.